Oh my goodness me. We've been attacked by a swarm of blooming, bees. Well, as you can see, we are at the Motorist again to see quite a variety of cars, although I might skip a few because I really am not interested in some of the cars that have turned up, but I am interested in certain cars, and I know you will be. So this is a kind of a shorter video just to show you around the Motorist. I am meeting up with a few people, very casual. I wasn't actually intending to film today, but some really nice cars have turned up and I just want to share that with you as usual. So let's have a look. Well, we have it's the coffee and cars on Sunday as usual, and the police have turned up. There's always incidents. Now I'm going to start with the two cars over here because I'm pretty sure you're going to want to see these. These came in just now. I wish I had my phone because I would have videoed it. The burbliness from a Rover P5B V8, and we can see it here. Just utter class. That's the only thing you can ever think of with these cars. This is a coupe, and that's a saloon. If I got that correct, actually. Honestly, this is utterly beautiful. Chrome everywhere. Just the size of the bumpers is unreal. Rover got this precisely right. The coupe version. People ask what the difference is. Well, we've got a sort of sloping window on this one, and that's the saloon version. This one, I mean, oh gosh. So we have Borg Warner 3-speeds as standard on these. They were never fitted with a manual gearbox. You've got all your switches there behind the, beside the actual speedometer and RPM counter, with that chrome bezel on the steering wheel, and I mean, this is something you'd probably find in the Prime Minister's office. They're just, the seats are so thick with foam, and the leather is just high quality. It really is. Most of them have probably been re-leathered at this time, or completely retrimmed. But I love the wheels on these as well. They go really nice. They're quite difficult to refurb because obviously we've got the two-tone paint thing going on. We've got the chrome, but we've also got the paint on the inserts. But here we can see the Rover V8 in all its glory. And yeah, this packs quite a punch. Torquey, very torquey. Lazy, quite lazy in some respects, but burbly and torquey. Got two dashpot SUs sitting there. It looks like it's had a complete cylinder head rebuild, this one, because as I say, it can get really furry around the tower area. You've got to make sure that there's no sludge there because that can cause a lot of issues. Got your Dizzy mounted down there. Everything is kind of familiar to everyone who's had one of these or seen one of these. It's got the usual problem where the actual connectors are falling off the brake fluid assembly. Had one in my P6. There's a lot of parts shared with the P6, and it has, oh yes, it has a Luminishen Optronic ignition kit. That's quite nice, even though I dare say the Magnetronic goes in the Dizzy and you can't see it, whereas with this, the Optronic, it's a box that sits on the inner arch, so it's kind of a little bit more exposed, but it will have to run off a 12-volt coil. That will be a 12-volt coil. The original coils are 9 volts. That's the confusion about coils on classic cars. They're not 12 volts, they're 9 coils for a ballast. This doesn't need a ballast, it's 12 volts straight to the electronic ignition. This one is just, the colour is just gorgeous. I can't tell you how nice this is to look at. And we've got the cream leather interior. Oh my god. No, it's just a sea of beige and wood, and just look at that. Needs the headrest at the back. Both of them have not got the rear headrests, which that is quite a rare thing on P6s and P5Bs. So I'm not surprised, but what a good start this is. Beautiful. Project Beatrix has made it here today. I couldn't bring the Mark 1 because it's due to rain, believe it or not, but you will be seeing the Mark 1 very soon. We have a Vauxhall Nova GTE on an F plate, so 1989. Ooh, okay, I like this. With a sunroof, look at the little door mirrors that you get on them. It's quite a nice design actually. A lot of 80s style door mirrors are very integral to the actual quarter window. You've still got the quarter window theme going on. A lot of cars still had that. Filler flap in quite a low position, but it just makes me think when I look at these sort of cars that cars of this age were just super minis. They weren't massive, they were just small. I mean, literally that comes up to halfway down my body. That's how small this car is. Unbelievable. I love the sort of check stripe pattern seats with the poverty spec headrest as usual, and winged bolsters, as many sportier cars have. A lot of Fords and Vauxhalls have that. Nice. Got a rear wiper, I should think so as well. And I love how the arch encroaches on the top of the wheels on these. It just makes it much more hunkered down and sporty without actually looking relatively sporty at all. I like that. Got these lovely decals there. It seems to be quite a modern car meet, so I'm just going to point this out. We've got a Fiat 126 Personal 4 650. That's what it says on the back. Wow. How long ago since you saw a Fiat 126? This was a pretty decent super mini back in the day actually. Quite a competitor to the Fiesta and the Nova especially. Over air cooled most likely. Might have got that wrong, but someone will correct me. And just down from here we've got this beautiful Nissan Bluebird, and it's a 2 litre GL and it's the estate, so this would be 1990. Yeah, that's exactly how I'd expect a Bluebird to be. Really organised in the interior as well. Absolute bulletproof. Now I think it's worth noting that this is one of 4 left. That's it. 1 of 4, and that's according to Nissan. That's just unbelievably rare. Lovely to see it. I'm probably never going to see it again. It's the kind of place where you might find some weird cars. Let's try and see if we can find some. Oh my goodness me, what do we have here? Somebody in a right edge Focus has come to possibly see me. I have no idea. I did put this out there. Oh my god, it's got... Oh, Jason, where are you? We have seen this car before. It didn't click in my head. Who's put collection rear bumpers on their car? It's got to be Jason's. Nice to see it as usual. Just a few months down the line from we last saw it. Very nice. Next to, oh, an MGZR on an 03 plate. Oh, this is a nice spot as well. Yes. Lovely tail there. Very nice. Ford Escort. Oh yes. It's got to be done. Beautiful. The ultimate RS 2000. And all the wood to go with it, and it looks extremely fun. Quite a few modern cars have turned up though. This is quite nice actually. A 318M. It's been a while since I've seen one of these. Well, first start, this colour Fiesta is the nicest colour you can get a Mark 7 in. I'm sorry, but it just is. It's the nicest colour. I don't know any colour that actually suits this car as just as good as this. It just reeks of that sort of time, 2008. I think it's spot on. I wouldn't say it's suitable for the later ones, but for the early ones, it's the best colour. Sorry. Ooh, nice Beamer. Dainty little door mirrors that they have on these. Enrich, if I'm not mistaken. Beamer. The Beamer. Mercedes convertible and X-Reg. Oh, quite nice to see. Now, I do like the two-tone leather. Automatic gearbox. I do like that. That red and black contrasts with the actual chrome ring on the dials. I like that. Got a couple of Mustangs, Porsche. Oh yes, 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 yes. Yes, a Vitesse, a Triumph Vitesse convertible. Oh my goodness me. That is nice. The wood is in really good condition, especially on the doors. I just love the varnished wood, and the steering wheel has been added to match that later on. And you've got all the pull-out knobs that control absolutely everything, and everything quite in a minimal fashion. Down to the little gear lever, probably a long throw as such, and nice, decent handbrake there in a good position.
It is.
Look at that. Gorgeous. Quite a few GTRs here, but we've got this here, which you just have to, I mean, this next to this, I mean, which car is better? Well, to be fair, Mondeo Gear Estate TDCi, quite nice, but this, we have a console. Very, very early. They were called consoles before. Console Cortina on an A-Reg. Oh, okay. Golf Mark III Cabriolet. Very black, very much VW from this area. Black, black. Can we have several different types of black? If there's anything that's black, chuck it in a Golf from the 90s and a Polo from the 90s. Very Germanic in terms of the lack of colour in a VW. Oh, we've got a DeLorean that's turned up. Wow. Oh yes, a Fiesta XR2i on a H-Reg, so 91 with lovely alloys that you get with these. So you'd have had in 1991 you would have had the 1.6 CVH with EFI. And obviously, because it's the XR, you have these integral driving lamps in the fog in the actual bumper itself. Love the little covers that you get on the jacking points for the sills. I do love on Mark III's how the light just sort of curves around the corner. I don't think any other car had that feature, not at this price point anyway, certainly not hatchbacks or super minis, and I think it was one of the first cars to actually do that. It looked completely modern compared to Mark II's. Oh my goodness me, we've been attacked by a swarm of blooming bees. That was a lucky escape. I've just had a really nice conversation with the owner, Ian, who's following me. Hello Ian, lovely to talk with you. This car is going to be featured on Wheeler Dealers very soon. How about that? This is going to be one famous car very soon. Ooh. Very nice Dodge S4 up GTI, Mazda MX-5, VW Passat Estate, and this, yes, and yes, nice Mini N-Reg, which has been slightly updated. Bullet mirrors, mini lights, and the later grille and the later badge. Oh, now we got a Triumph. I think it's a TR2 or TR3A. This might be my my weakness here. Which Triumph TR is this? Yeah, I'm not quite sure whether this is a TR3 or TR3A. Not quite sure. Right, I'm going to have a walk down here. We've got a Sport car coming in. Really nice to see. We've got quite a random selection of cars going down here. That's Porsche. Got a few down here. Seen a couple of interesting cars come in, so I'm going to walk you down to them. Oh, That's a very nice Honda Civic. Golf. That sounds extremely raughty. Oh, a nice Mini Minor, which has been, wow. Okay, that is some protrusion going on here. Roll cage, it's been all custom made into a race spec car. Ooh, this looks extremely fun. Oh my god, your head is literally, MGB coming in, your head is literally ahead of the filler. Oh my god. I can see that being a source of some extreme accident. The body curves on this. Ooh, a TVR Griffith. Yes, yes, yes. Well, it's got its own massive chassis which takes up most of the space in here, while the few cars do actually have a physical chassis. But TVR definitely believes in doing things differently, and fair play to them. Oh yes, Focus CC. This I spotted a mile off, and there's not many of these, you know. They really are in a very slim number. Now, I'm not sure what specification this would be. There was a couple of specifications, but manual gearbox and the creamy seats, sort of caramel-like. Nice spot this is, and very useful. They're very useful cars in this kind of weather, really. I have to admit, the back end styling doesn't suit everyone. Pininfarina tried to do a decent job on the back end, but it didn't quite flow very nicely. But nevertheless, it's a really nice spot, and actually I think these are going to have a niche of their own. There is definitely a club for these, by the way. That's how people, how passionate people are. We've got an MGTF 160. Oh, nice, very, very nice. Yep, useful. I've just seen this. How can you not see this? Vauxhall Nova on a C-Reg. Obviously, it's the hatch, but oh my god, this is the colour that people remember. This is the spec that people have definitely bought. 1.3 SR. Oh, yes, this is entirely what people remember back in the day. Beautiful. Boxy, but functional and fun. Cheap fun when motoring was fun, and people definitely had a lot of good times in the 80s. Everybody was giving this attention about 20 minutes ago when it came in. Oh yes, DMC DeLorean. And I think this is the first time I've actually seen one in the flesh. I know some people are going to ask me where the hell I've been. Look at this stainless steel finish. Oh my goodness me. Why are we bowled down by something so impractical and so badly built that nobody really any bought them unless they had lots of money to spend and couldn't wait to get rid of it? However, I do like the wheels. They're just so Americanized. But yeah, built in Ireland. I have to review this car because this belongs to a good friend of mine, a Volvo V70 250. Oh yes, 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 yes. Now this is a very well used car, and it's almost done 200,000 miles. Adam has only owned it since last July, and he's already raked up 14,000 miles on it, and 2,000 on a 2000 plate. Unbelievable. I mean, many of these were very popular as police cars, and actually Adam has just bought something very recently that's a nice door, that is. This is just such nice material. Adam has just bought a completely new set of seats out of what was a police car, and they've been barely worn into, much better than his old ones, but this is just so plush. If we just get in here, and I'm just going to shut the door. Yes, it's clunked. And wow, okay. The handbrake, they always tend to stick up quite a bit on Volvos for some reason. They just go off. Usual wear on the gear lever just to depict the mileage. And we've got the cassette and CD player in here, which is quite rare actually, because usually either be CD or cassette, not both. But Volvo obviously thought to give you both. And I think that is a very, very nice cup holder. I love stuff like that. Then we've got just clunky little, buttons that you'd expect from late 90s, early noughties. And this is quite futuristic, because a lot of cars do this now, where they've got the picture of the person with the different air directions for the vents, instead of just the arrow where you're having to interpret. Whereas if you've got a picture, it's easy to sort of read. Got a few different buttons: heated windscreen, heated rear window, that sort of thing, cigar lighter down here, and many blanking switches to tell you that you didn't buy enough optional extras. This wood is just superb. It matches on the steering wheel. We've got cruise buttons as well. Lovely, absolutely superb. And the material, like Rover 45 or Rover products, the material tends to sag away from the door cars, but actually nowhere near as bad as Rover products. But yeah, I couldn't get used to driving something so long. I think Estates might be a bit too big for me, considering the length. But we've got a nice speaker grille there as well. Really nice. I love this car, and it's a daily workhorse. And he bought it for barely anything. He got accused of being an old man by a few people, but I don't know who's laughing with this car. This is motoring at the very lower end, but look at the amount of things you get for your money. It's even got cruise control and volume buttons on the steering wheel. I'm not being funny. Some people pay thousands and thousands for the latest car with all these bits on them, but actually very luxurious and very well appointed cars back in the day had all this technology anyway. Right, just some movements here. We've just moved all the cars together, and Jason's Focus, and we have this, and this is Alex's main car these days. The Focus Mark 1 is very much a rolling restoration and a preservation. This is the daily driver, and oh my goodness me, yeah, this is a weird colour. I have never personally seen this colour before. This is apparently called Spar, and this is a very, very weird colour. So we're talking 2009, 1.25 Z-Tech. Well, it would be the Sigma. Wow. Yeah. This is a very weird acquisition, and I'm going to show you the interior because I'm just baffled. I'm just not going to talk. Nice door. Quite a firm door on the Mark 7. Oh my goodness me. It is totally and utterly beige. It is old person spec. Who the hell would have bought this? I have never seen a Mark 7 with that interior dashboard. Has anybody seen one? Has anybody from Europe seen a European Mark 7 with this dashboard? Because we're trying to find trim bits. Alex has been trying to find spare trim bits just for a few bits and pieces. Can't find any. It's literally, this is so rare, you can't find anything. And I've never known, I've never seen one before. And even the seats, they're just one lady owner from you. This reminds me, but it's a manual, it's not an automatic, strangely enough. But it's just so beige. This dashboard here, and I'll just take you in here. That's a nice door shut, that is. This is two-tone, so, we've got a very different plastic to what's up here from what's down here. I do like Mark 7 Fiestas. When you sit in the driver's seat, you are instantly thinking of a Mark 1 Focus if you've ever owned a Mark 1 Focus. They got the driving position exactly perfected, and they drive like Mark 1 Focuses apparently. So this is why this car has been a winner for so many years, probably one of the best Fiestas of the lot, in many respects. This was a complaint on Focus Mark 3s and Fiesta Mark 7s. Just quite clunky, quite cheap. Focus Mark 3s were worse for the buttons. There's just too many buttons going on. But you've got these rotary dials for the fan speed and the vent delivery system. It's still a cable operated system on this, no automatic climate distribution control, recirculation, air conditioning, heated windscreen, and your temperature, just in a really nice simple pod. We come back in, we've got this lovely gear lever, and again, just it's bits like this that you're going to find impossible to get hold of. Got a little 12-volt socket, a little bit of a cubby hole, enough space for a couple of cup holders or your sunglasses. Handbrake is situated kind of to the driver's side, which is ideal because then you could put some cup holders on this side. And hello. But this is yeah, I love this striping actually, to be fair. This car will certainly be a contender for the Festival of the Unexceptional, with this incredibly rare beige interior that, I've got to be honest with you, even if I was an old person, I don't think I'd want it. Really not. But you've got the two-tone thing. Obviously you've got black vinyl on the steering wheel, but we've got a leather one apparently, which might go on. But the controls are just nice to use, really nice. Not too cheap, but not too plush. And the door handles, I'll tell you, that's really good. On a Mark 1 Focus or older fours, you have to move that handle quite a fair bit before the door opens. So they definitely improve things. The window switches are in a weird place because naturally your arm's here, but why would the switch be at this position? Weird one. But this tone is just slightly darker. This is the colour of the exterior of the car, and then you've got the beige going on. It's so beige. I do love the dials that you get in these, with these sticky out pods. They just look incredibly sporty. And then you've got obviously your mirror control on that side. Yeah, it brings back memories of when I actually started to learn in one of these. But yeah, that was a very brief intro actually to my driving lesson days. I switched to a my instructor switched to a Mark 3 Focus, and the rest is history. But I do wonder if I'd have continued driving this and passed my test in one, whether I'd have bought a Mark 7 Fiesta as my first car. So really, we shut with a nice clunk, and it shuts nicely. I have to say, I think Mark 7 Fiestas, above anything else, are going to be modern classics in the future. I know people are going to laugh at that, but I think they are. I really do. And this being the style, it wouldn't have had too much with the style plus. So you got a few extra things on there, but these are the style trims that you get on these Steelies. But I'm just going to show you underneath the car, if I get on my knees. We've got all the original paint. It must have been garaged. There's nothing on that beam or anything. This has definitely been garaged. Definitely. .6.
You would have a problem with yours now. Paint everywhere on yours.
1.25. Well, I am going to end this here, and just brief look over my friends' cars, because that's what it's all about, car community and all that, friends and everything. And we've seen some interesting cars here, and just a little brief visit to the Motorist. But anyway, I'm going to get on. I've got lots of talking and socialising to do, but this is for you guys on YouTube. Stay tuned, like, subscribe, the usual stuff. See you in a bit. Oh, nice. Move that seat forward. I'm going to get all this in. Thanks, Dave. Oh, goodness me, that's one bumper in. I've got to put the other one in yet. Everything's flapping around all over the place. Sort of the things you have to do to protect your headlining. I don't want that puncturing anything. I don't think this bubble wrap is very organised. Tell you what, if I have an accident on the motorway, there's just going to be a load of bubble wrap that will just find its way into all three lanes. I'm glad I bought this car today.